Hi, I'm Chrisley, Ceme, and for the past decade, I've been working at the intersection between outbound sales and revenue strategies, helping B2B teams scale using data-backed systems. And what I've actually found is that there actually has been a silent killer amongst many of these organizations. They invest all their time and resources into people, data, tools, which is very important, for the foundation of their business. But many people tend to neglect email infrastructure. And today, I just wanted to give you a few points on what I found that every organization should know about so that they're keeping their email infrastructure authenticated, certified, and revenue proof moving forward. Because if not, it could potentially cost you millions of dollars or compliance fees to the government, potentially, which obviously nobody wants to deal with. So first and foremost, deliverability, I would argue, is the first KPI for your overall communication health. Regardless of if you have the most advanced CRM, the best content strategy, the strongest brand voice, if your messages aren't reaching the inbox, you're already behind the eight ball tremendously. And this is not just for sales. Deliverability isn't just a sales metric, it's the heartbeat of your communications across your entire ecosystem. It could be marketing campaigns that are going out. You could have a PLG motion that kind of relies on notifications being emailed out to your users, customer onboarding emails, product updates, invoices. All that depends on your domain health and your email infrastructure. And a compromised sender reputation obviously means lower engagement in all of those things, emails falling into spam or not being delivered at all, broken nurture flows, and ultimately lost revenue and lost opportunities. And so what I found is the most successful organizations kind of don't wait for these problems to appear. They actually monitor deliverability the same way they're tracking churn, open rates, whatever the case may be. And before they really invest in kind of scaling their operations, they make sure that their domain is currently at a healthy score and healthy IP address reputation, and so that this way they know, hey, we can scale, and now they put in the safeguards needed and guardrails to make sure that they're doing so in a safe fashion. And next point, authentication. It's not really optional. It's really compliance at this point. Your SPF, DKIM, DMARC records, they're not just acronyms to kind of toss at the wind. You really want to be paying attention to those things. They're the global standards to verify your domain's identity, make sure your messages aren't getting spoofed by bad apples out there, and kind of keep you out of spam filters as much as possible. In the recent years, your major email service providers like Google and Microsoft have really strucken down on kind of the rope they used to allow when it comes to your sender reputation, so that you could send your emails kind of no harm, no foul. So yes, you want to ensure that all these things are great, because if your domain reputation suffers, that's not going to just affect your cold emails. It can actually bleed into everything. Your newsletters deliverability drops. If your customer success emails that are being sent out, your reps will feel like they're being ignored when in reality they weren't being delivered. Any transactional emails that are going out may not land into your clients' inboxes. And all these things get affected by your domain reputation. And that's why you want to ensure that you're setting up proper infrastructures so that one doesn't necessarily affect the other, and that everything is healthy at all times. You can almost think of it as part of your brand hygiene, quite honestly, your email infrastructure. And now, to make sure that these things are all properly aligned and checked, that's where you want to be regularly auditing and looking into your systems, whether that's looking at tools like Postmaster or Glock apps, whether that's ensuring looking at things like your overall email deliverability scores, so on and so forth. Those audits will prove to be paramount. You should probably be looking at those monthly. I would say quarterly at the minimum, depending on how you're currently invested into your email infrastructure and what you're using emails for. This way, you never have to worry about your domain being safe. This way, if you start to, let's say, you start to see a drop off on your newsletters, for example. You can at least know, hey, it's not because of deliverability. Now your marketing team can look into, hey, maybe we need to change up some of the topics that we're talking about. We need to maybe introduce new segments or whatever the case may be to get those engagements back up to where they used to be. You can kind of rule out any technical issues, which are always a pain, and they can drastically impact what your teams are thinking of in terms of new approaches, new outreach engines, so on and so forth. So, in conclusion, you definitely want to always be monitoring these things. You want to make sure these things are always healthy and safe. You can feel free, if you'd like, you can schedule some time with me to can maybe go through some of your current infrastructures, see what's in place, see what you have, don't have, give you maybe some best kind of options and tips moving forward to look through those things. You can feel free to reach out to me here on LinkedIn, or you can send me an email at chrisley@senders.co, whichever is easier for you. I look forward to speaking with you all shortly, and have a great day.